Welcome to our Python video on lists. Lists are an extremely useful data type in the language Python. So let's take a look at how lists can make our life a lot easier and allow us to store data. Now we're going to talk about lists in Python. Lists are a very, very useful data type in Python. They let us do a lot of really cool things, and they're nothing more than a data type that is values that are separated by commas within square brackets. I mean, they're really cool. So here we go. Let's start by making some lists. My fruit, and we can literally put anything in these that we want. So let's put some apples in there and some bananas and maybe some cherries and some watermelon. So we've got a list of strings, which is perfectly fine. Let's put some grades in, right? We like to do grades. So let's do, I don't know, 87, 99, 84, 90, and another really good one. All right, so there's a list of grades. And let's do characters. My characters equals, and I'm going to show you can even use double quotes for characters in Python. It just doesn't really care. It's a better habit to use single, but I want to show you that this works. Okay. Let's use capital T, and let's pick one more. Let's go with Z. Okay. So there's three different lists, all holding different data types, and all of the data typing being done automatically by Python. So let's go and get some values. Retrieving values. Pretty simple. Let's just say print my fruit, and we'll index into it of 1, which would be 0, 1. So we should see bananas on that one. Print. Let's do my characters. And this time we're going to do a range, okay? We're going to do 1 to 3. Now remember, there's this annoying little aspect to this, at least it's annoying to me, that this second number is always a bridge too far. So I always have to kind of stop and think about that. That means this is going to do 1 and 2. So it's not this one and this one. This is 0, 1, and 2. So I should see QT. Okay, but let's see what happens. All right, in fact, let's go ahead and save this and let's run this thing. And this one's called lists. So we're going to say Python lists.py. And look at that. Notice that if I'm asking for 1, it gives me the value. If I'm asking for a range, it returns a list with those two in it. Okay, so it's not going to give me just Q and T on the screen. Because I gave it a range, it's returning a list with those two in it. Okay, something to think about. All right, now let's change some values because lists are mutable, right? Mutation. I can mutate. They are mutable values, so I can change them. All right, so let's say my grades of 2 is equal to an 85. Now, what was it? It was 0, 1, 2. It was an 84. So let's say I argued a point and the teacher gave it to me, and now I need to raise that point up. Okay? And I'm going to say my grades, I want to print, sorry. Let's say print my grades, and we're going to go 0 through 5. Now, let's think about that again. Is that going to get me all of the grades? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it should, right? Because 5 would be a bridge too far. So that should get me all of my grades. So let's try that. Make sure it's saved. All right, let's run clear. And there we go. And you will notice that the 85 has been changed and they're all there. Okay? So that's kind of cool. So let's do some more stuff. Let's add something to a list. So we'll call this adding to a list. So we're going to say my fruit dot. Now notice my IntelliSense actually shows me a lot that I can pick from. Okay? IntelliSense in modern IDEs is wonderful. So I'm going to click that, and it did nothing for me, did it? So let's try that again. If I'm on a pen, let's try enter. Still doesn't do it. So this IDE does not actually let me double click to get it, but it does show me it's there. Okay? And it will be blue because it is a known method. Okay? So it does help me with that. My fruit append, and because it's a method, it gets parentheses, but I'm going to add oranges, okay, to the list. Now, let's print my fruit from 0:5. Now, let's make sure that that's going to print it all out. 0, 1, 2, 3. The addition would be 4. I'm also going to just say print my fruit, and let's see if those two are actually the same. And I'm going to say print my fruit of 0:1. Now let's go 2. Okay? So let's see what happens when we do this. Notice these two are the same. Okay? And orange is, sure enough, been added. And if I go 0 to 2, 2 is a bridge too far, so 0 and 1 print. Okay? So if I wanted 3 of these to print, I'd actually have to go to 3, and it would be 0, 1, and 2. Let's make sure I'm right. Actually, let's just do it here. And you can see the difference, right? When I increase that index, I now get the cherries, 0, 1, and 2. All right? So changing it does actually work. Okay? And when we're doing this, it's called slicing. We're slicing that list up. Okay? And it's giving us a sliced list back. All right? Now, we can delete from lists as well. So let's say we're going to drop a grade. So let's just mark this. Deleting from lists. And let's take one off of grades. We're going to say del my grades of 1, which is the second one in the list. Okay? My grades. So we're going to say, that wasn't really your grade. Okay? That's a shame because it was a 99, but we'll keep moving. All right, so we're going to delete my grades, and then we're going to print, and I'm just going to do my grades here because I want to see all of them to make sure that it is complete. Okay, now if I really want to check, let's do a print my grades up here in front of it, and then make sure that this one comes out and check it again. All right, let's try that. Control save. Let's do a clear. And there we go. Notice the 9901, that one's there, and now it's not. Okay? Pretty basic stuff, but pretty cool. All right? This stuff is pretty powerful. All right? Now, let's look at a couple, and I'm going to actually comment this one out right now because I want to have all the grades in there because I'm going to show you some other methods we can do on lists. So I'm going to say print, and I'm going to call the method max of my grades. Okay, and then I'm going to print, and you might guess that min of my grades also exists. And then I'm going to say print the length of my characters let's just go colon space placeholder dot format, and we can call len for length of my characters, and it's going to tell me how many are in there. Okay, and I think, well, now let's go ahead and look at this. There it is. The maximum grade is 99, which is true. The minimum is 85, also correct. The length of my characters is 4. Okay, and let's double check that. There's 4. What we probably should have done is say print my characters so we can see it to prove it. Okay, now I want to show you one more thing. Okay, and this one's really cool. My characters dot reverse, and let's spell it correctly, and then I'm going to say print my characters. All right, so it's also good to have it printed there too. All right, here we go. This is pretty cool. So there's my characters. The length is 4. 0, 1, 2, 3 are the indexes, but 1, 2, 3, 4 is the number of elements, and it reversed them and printed them out. So in a list, order matters. Remember that. In a list, order matters. Okay? That is lists in Python. You will find them very, very helpful. So now that we've seen how useful lists are, in the next video we're going to talk about another very important data type known as tuples. See you on the other side.